everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a sleek makeup review for you, and this is the Face Form Contour and Blush Palette in Light. This palette retails for €11.50 on the German Amazon, and you can get it for $11.70 on the US Amazon, and that includes shipping. There are actually 4 versions of this palette out. There is the fair one and the light one, and just these first two actually own the name of Face Contour and Blush Palette because they come with a bronzer, a highlighter, and a blush. And then the 2 darker options, which are called medium and dark, actually come with 2 bronzers instead of a bronzer and a blush. I think it would be interesting to see if those 2 darkest options are still called Face Form Contour and Blush Palette, since they don't actually contain a blush. But anyways, Sleek can name their products whatever they wish. The packaging on these is really very sleek, as the name of the brand implies. They are compact and ideal to use on the go because they come with this big mirror, and it actually contains all the main face products in one place. As such, it contains highly wearable shades for fair and light skin, so you're not getting any extravagant risque blush and highlighter options, but rather such that tend to be universally flattering on these skin types, irrespective of other features such as eye and hair color or skin undertones. That makes this little palette ideal for everyday use, and also a solid foundation for special occasion looks, meaning that one can amp it up by bringing in a brighter blush if need be, and the shades contained in this palette will also work with a variety of different eye looks. Therefore, I tend to view these as essentials for the face. So let's swatch these, and I'm beginning with the bronzer, which is a matte bronzer, and this is supposed to be a dupe for Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. And if I have to be really honest, I have to say that this was the sole reason why I ordered this palette, because I wanted to see what Chocolate Soleil would look like on my skin. I obviously do not own that one. That one retails for $30 alone. The texture of this bronzer as you touch it is really nice and buttery, and is very nicely pigmented. It also blends out very well, and in real life I find that this is relatively cool toned, which makes it one of my most favorite blushes. Far and away, this blush is my favorite element of the palette, and I'm not saying that in a way that would bash the highlighter or the blush. What I mean by that is that I can see myself reaching for this bronzer every single day, whereas these 2 other products are nice, but they're not necessarily essentials for every single day. They're really good foundations for looks, but I could see myself substituting these for other options that I have in my collection. So let's go over to the highlighter, also very nice to the touch. The nice thing about this highlighter, which is a nice champagne shade, is that it's actually not too glittery. It has finely milled shimmer through it, and it is somewhere between a shimmery and a satin finish. This is nice in as much as this will not tend to overemphasize large pores. It will give you that flattering highlighted look without being too flashy or too gaudy, and that also makes this highlighter an excellent option for formal settings. And now finally the blush. The blush is a bit drier to the touch than the bronzer, I will not lie. And this is definitely a shimmery blush. This is a blush that has a pinkish corally base, and it has quite a bit of golden shimmer through it. This is said to be a dupe for NARS Orgasm, a blush that has pretty much a cult following, and this blush is also available individually from Sleek, and the name of that shade is Rose Gold, and that retails for €5.50 on the German Amazon. Although I have looked at some swatches online, and it seems that the one included in this palette is just a bit less pigmented than what you would get with Rose Gold. But still, this is a very nice shade. On my fair skin, this does show up. Obviously, you have to be a person who likes shimmery blushes. I personally prefer matte blushes, but in the summer, I do tend to reach more for shimmery blushes. However, on darker skin tones, I think that only the golden shimmer will tend to show up. So if you have medium skin tone or darker, you may want to look at another palette. Or if you do want to try this one, maybe apply this powder blush on top of a cream blush that has nice pigmentation. Now this highlighter somehow reminds me of the famous Wet n Wild color icon in Reserve Your Cabana, so I'll just swatch that one on top of it. And as you can hopefully see, they are very similar. The one from the Sleek Trio is just minimally pinker, whereas the Wet n Wild one is a bit more beige. But overall, they are really similar, although the one from Wet n Wild does seem to be minimally less shimmery. So you're getting a product that is a bit more reflective than the Wet n Wild one and also has a bit more of a pink hue to it. And just for the sake of comparing, I will compare this blush to a shimmery blush from e.l.f. This is from their Baked line, and this is the blush in Peachy Cheeky, which is also a peachy shade with shimmer. And on top I have the e.l.f. one. Let me do a longer swatch. So on top I have the e.l.f. one, and then on the bottom I have the one from the Sleek Trio. The two shades are quite similar. The difference being that the one from the Sleek Face Form palette is a bit pinker than the e.l.f. one, and also the one from the Sleek palette has chunkier glitter. You cannot actually see this in this swatch, but I actually looked really closely at these swatches in direct sunlight, and in direct sunlight you can see that the shimmer and the Sleek one are a bit chunkier, whereas the e.l.f. Baked one is overall smoother, and it has just a sheen to it, especially in direct sunlight, whereas with the Sleek one, you will be able to tell if you get really close to it that there are specks of glitter in it. But overall, these two are very comparable. And both of these are gorgeous, and on my very fair skin, both of these give a very natural cheek look. So by the way of final thoughts, all the products included in this palette have very good quality. They are nicely pigmented, they are soft and blendable. The least pigmented element would be this blush. You can definitely build it up, but then again, it may not be such a bad thing that it is not extraordinarily pigmented, because you do not run the risk of looking like a clown. And generally with blush, I find that it is easier to add to it than it is to take away from it. And this one is definitely a very buildable blush. It is quite interesting that it is the base color, this corally pinkish tone, that actually increases in intensity, and it is not so much the golden shimmer. So definitely a very buildable product. If I were to give this palette as a whole a grade, I would probably give it an 8.5 out of a 10. I really do appreciate the fact that all these blend well. I deducted a little bit because the blush is a shimmery shade and not everybody enjoys a shimmery shade. And definitely the standout element in this product for me would be the bronzer, which I really like. I actually like it so much that I even wore it on my wedding day. I wore this as an all over the face bronzer, and then I used another matte product to contour with. But the fact that I chose to use it on that day is a testament to how much I do like this product. So overall, I am really happy with my purchase, and I would definitely recommend this product if you're interested in a very portable palette that contains all the basic elements you need for your face. I hope that this review was helpful. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a quick thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really helps me out when you do that, and I appreciate it so much when you do that. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!